Hello, hello. Let's see. I think we're going live. Hello, friends. I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56, and I'm trying to include the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, so I'm not quite sure if I'm live there. How odd. Okay, well, I'm just going to go right ahead, and hopefully I will be talking to some of you in the room. And this has been a strange week. All of those essential things that we need, like computers, like cars, they're in the computer and car hospitals this week with the new moon in Gemini. And so, welcome to summer solstice. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the summer solstice. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the new moon that took place on Sunday, and of course, do your spiritual messages as well. So, I welcome you to this important day on our four-tiered calendar. The solstices and the equinoxes are like the four corners of the solar year. It's the longest daylight of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. And of course, hi, Donna. Welcome. Nice to see you. And its reciprocation, its polarity, of course, is the winter solstice when the light returns. So it's countdown to Christmas, friends. Only 6 months left for your Christmas shopping or your Hanukkah shopping or what have you. But again, tonight we're going to be talking about what's happening and applying one of the bigger stories that we're all kind of thinking about to the mythology of the astrology. So, hello, Terry. Welcome. I'm not sure what platform you're watching this on, but wherever you're coming in from, I appreciate it. And I think that I have to make some changes when my computer comes back. So, how is everybody tonight? This is kind of an important time because the solstice is always at 0 point of Cancer, but we're going to actually look at the new moon first, and let's add that to the screen. Summer solstice and the new moon. So our new moon this past week has been at 26 degrees of Gemini, but its connection with our chart and the connection with out there, I can summarize in 3 words. Blending logic with emotion to find solutions in relationships. Well, that's more than 3 words, but 3 concepts. You see, the new moon was connected to Juno, which is the principal asteroid that represents the way we partner, our partners, the method by which we do partner with others. It's kind of like our social asteroid that helps us become aware of someone else and wanting to negotiate, whether it be in business or in pleasure. So this is a new beginning since Sunday in the way we are connecting with other people. And the new moon has Juno piggybacking on it right here. There's Juno. Is squaring or creating some tension to Neptune, which of course Neptune is the goddess of the seas or the god of the seas. Neptune is dreams and illusions and delusions. Neptune is emotion that's sometimes unbridled, our fantasies, our imagination. So I think one of the calling cards of the new cycle in Gemini is, how do I blend logic with emotion? How do I state my relationship concerns without becoming overwhelmed? Good evening, Paula. Thank you for being here. Diane, thank you very much. And you're very welcome to share this because I'm not completely connected the way I normally am. Well, in any case, that makes sense, right? Because the new moon's in communication. I said 2 minutes earlier, some of my major tools in this modern world, I've been deficit this past week, including my vehicle and my computer. So, oh well, that's Gemini, right? Computers and vehicles And yes, this new moon is playing a little havoc in my own personal chart. Thank you for sharing, Paul. I appreciate you sharing, my dear. Thank you so much. Sharing is caring. Let's go back. So we're all still resonating with this new cycle. We're already in crescent phase. If you look outside, you're going to see a gorgeous, moon coming up to Venus, the beautiful bright light. But let's just talk about the meaning of this new moon. The Sabian symbol is a gypsy coming out of the forest and connecting with the city life. So we're all getting out of our comfort zone and emerging in perhaps an arena that we're not familiar with, because this Sabian symbol is depicting the idea that we're in our little zone, our forest tribe, we're feeling secure, and then we're coming out into the city, and how do we reconcile city and country life, so to speak. Makes me think of the book that I read as a child, which always resonated with me, The City Mouse and Country Mouse. Are you a city mouse or are you a country mouse? So maybe some concerns about that are resonating within you as we're maybe making plans for summer vacations. Do you want to do a woodsy beach vacay, or maybe you want to go sightseeing in a big city? I don't know. So you can put it that way as well. And okay, yeah, it's so interesting. I'm not seeing everybody's names. Hi, Joan, I got your text, and I'm going to be responding after tonight's Cosmic Connections. So stay tuned, Joan, to your phone. So again, here is what we're working with. Blending logic with emotion, finding new solutions for our relationships. Blending and sometimes wanting to have a balance. Sometimes when we get overwhelmed with emotions, and I've certainly seen that in my own practice this past week, a lot of over-the-top emotions, and sometimes our feelings run amok, and we have to bring things down and in and use logical communication. So here's one question for the week for you. Since Sunday, which is just the past 3 days, have you noticed perhaps in your communications with your partners, doesn't have to be a partner, just people you care about, that you've been misunderstood, misconstrued, or that you're saying something and you think you're saying something, but it's not being received the right way? It's forcing us to use the one of the 4 agreements principles to be impeccable with your word. Watch your words this week and the next 3 weeks under the new cycle, because Neptune is creating this vortex of saying we have to be very concrete in what we're saying. So we're still working through that. I talked about where this is falling in your chart last week. So just as a reminder, and I'm very, very interested in getting any feedback from the people I can see, because I can't see everybody, if you have found that to be a truism, that you've been saying something that has not been received in the manner by which you wanted to communicate something. So communication is the key for this new cycle as we go through our wonderful Gemini arena. But today, friends, we get another kind of energy. It's the beautiful summer solstice. And it's called the flag degree. Let me talk about that. So every time we have the first day of summer, which is 0 degrees of Cancer, the degree of the Sabian symbol looks something like this. Imagine it's one flag coming down off the flagpole and a new one being elevated. And flags represent primarily, right, countries. They can represent causes, of course, but a flag or a banner is a visual way to communicate meaning. That's a simple explanation. So what are you broadcasting? What is your flag being proposed every single summer solstice, 0 degrees of Cancer? Now, in Eastern Daylight Time, that came this morning, the exact summer solstice. It feels different. I always think it feels different when we have the solstices. So this particular degree reminds us that we are surrendering to the new and the old, and it's a changing of the guard. That's essentially what it is. It's summertime, and on a soul level, we're letting go, we're surrendering to the old, and we're broadcasting the new. Now, this particular year, 2023, zero Cancer is sextile the North Node in Taurus. What's the North Node in Taurus? It's our pathway. It's our pathway in a grounded, fixed earth sign. So we've all been working on Taurus in our charts since January 19th of 2022. We've been all working on what matters in our lives, the Taurus parts of our charts. So this particular solstice is assisting that because it's sextiling. It's giving us new opportunities to perhaps produce opportunities that we've gone on the wayside since 2022. It's also trining the South Node. Now, my interpretation of this, where we find the South Node, it's been in Scorpio since January of 2022. It's been asking us, all of us, especially the Scorpios, to surrender to that which we can't control. So how does it feel to loosen up control, dear friends? How does it mean, how are you feeling, how are you interpreting this energy this week of letting go what needs to be let go of in your life? So loosen up control. This summer solstice is reminding us that it's safe not to be in the driver's seat. Now, this is very hard for this Scorpio sun. I mean, literally the driver's seat. I feel uncomfortable when I'm a passenger. I know it's a little bit of a phobia. My family laughs about it. I'm getting better. Like when I go traveling with my daughter, I actually allow her to drive now a little bit. I don't know. Remember, we have our 4 fixed signs: Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. Sometimes they just like to take charge. But personally, I've been feeling this. I am not the bastion of wisdom for not even myself sometimes, but certainly not other people. And so this flag degree, this summer solstice, is a gentle reminder to loosen control. It gets better. Black Moon Lilith is squaring Uranus. So as we're going through our changes, wherever they may be in your life, look at unusual ways. Changing horses in midstream, I wrote, right? And do something unusual. Take a risk. Don't be afraid to be Iranian, to trust your internal I know. All right. Now, what is one of the bigger stories that's happened since this new moon? Say it with me, right? It's that submergible vessel called the Titan, put together, of course, by Ocean's Gate. And we're all praying and hoping that the 5 individuals aboard this craft can safely be rescued. And if you've been following the story, you know that I think it was last night, and even since that time, rescuers off the coast of Cape Cod and Newfoundland were hearing sounds in the water. And there's rescue and recovery vessels congregating in that part of the ocean. Now, this really blows my mind how astrology works, because since this occurred under the new moon, we have had the outer planet Sedna change signs. Let me talk to you about what Sedna means. Sedna just moved into the sign of Gemini. Now, we've got, of course, our primary planets, but we also have these outer planets. Now, Sedna is a mythological story that goes something like this. Sedna was, it depends on the version of the story, but let's just call her a Native American Eskimo daughter of a man, of a father figure, who wanted to marry someone in particular. Her father said, no way. She was in her vessel with her father, and she said, you know what? I'm going to be rebellious. I'm going to marry a dog. That's one version of the story. I don't care what you're telling me, Dad. I'm going to do what I want to do. I want to marry who I want to marry. She represents the rebellious daughter, and her father punished her horrifically. She decided to throw herself off the craft, the canoe, the kayak, and her father was hurting her fingers, so she couldn't come aboard. Her own father betrayed her. And then she sank to the bottom of the ocean. She totally submerged, and she's known as the goddess of the underwater world. So Sedna is the guardian, the female guardian. She sank to the ocean floor. This is an astrological, objective astrological shift that just happened this week. And of course, what we're talking about is the craft called the Titan. And in mythology, the Titans were also rebellious children. At the urging of their mom, they were going to destroy their father, who was an ogre. So this is a really deep, rebellious of young people story in this particular week that we're experiencing, both with Sedna going into Gemini, the goddess of the underwater, and of course, the actual craft's name is Titan. So how can you even, it's just amazing. So is Titan being rebellious? I know in some news reports they were saying that this craft, this submergible vessel, had some possible safety issues on and on previous to this terrible circumstance that's happening before our very eyes. So the experts are saying that they may have enough oxygen to survive another day, but we're all, as a collective group on the world, hoping and praying that they will be rescued, the 5 individuals aboard the submergible vessel, the Titan. But the astrology certainly corresponds to this. So some questions for you and how you might work with this energy in yourself. Ask yourself a couple of things. We've already talked about the new moon, blending emotion with logic to find relationship solutions. That's one this week. Number 2, how are you surrendering control, especially to young people? You parents out there, or you maybe not a parent, maybe you're an employer. How are you able to surrender control to, quote, the people you mentor or you teach or you are raising? Can you trust them to do their own thing and not chide them by letting them submerge to the bottom of the ocean? So this is a lot about control this week, friends, and it's also highlighting the mother-father role with control. So I want to just add that all to the mix, and as we are going to say goodbye to the chart. But remember, every single summer solstice, the Sabian symbol is a flag that comes up and then comes down. A new flag is now in place. All right, there we go. Big hello to Christine. Janet has some latest news. They are not certain the banging sounds are coming from the metal, the Titanic moving, or from the 5 men trapped. Thank you for that, Janet. Hi, Rose. Okay, you'll be happy to let go after your last day of work tomorrow. Mary is a teacher, of course. So the idea, what are we letting go, is we put the flag up for summertime, which for many of us is vacation. Okay, Janet's been letting go. And the U.S., hi, Joni, thank you. Thank you. Good evening, Leslie. Thank you all for being here. And thank you for sharing. I really do appreciate that. And for those of you who have been sharing all along, I also want to do a little gift for you, which will be a new moon video, which is going to be activated for this next new cycle. So close my eyes. And the winner today is Lisa Phillips. I don't see Lisa in the room today, but thank you very much, Lisa Phillips, for sharing. Christine, your name will be going in the basket again because you shared before, and I appreciate you. Hi, Marcianne. Thank you for being here tonight, and Christine as well. All right, friends. I'm going to do a little spiritual message work now. And but before I do that, I want to go through where the summer solstice is affecting your chart. So let's go through that. If you are Aries, you are surrendering and bringing the flags up and down, a new way of being for you in your personal life, in your home life, and with your sense of comfort and connection to others. That's for the Aries. For Taurus, it's a new way of communication. You're feeling a little bit more powerful in your throat chakra, speaking your authenticity, and maybe shifting your words in a new way also your self-talk. For Gemini, this summer solstice energy is activating your sense of self-worth, value, and your income, perhaps a new way of making money. I don't know. For Cancer or Cancer rising, it's all about you. This energy is activating your charisma, your sense of self, the way that you're communicating your own personal authenticity. For Leo or Leo rising, this solstice energy is reminding you to connect with your inner guru, your inner GPS, your spirituality, your sense of intuition, and retreat as well. Just get into the idea of retreating and relaxing, and the ideas will come forth for the Leos. For Virgo, it's all about your friends, your groups, your associations, trusting that whomever you're connecting with will be the right people, your tribe, as it were. For Libra or Libra rising, this new moon energy is saying, hey, let's identify what we want to do for our career. Let's take a leadership ability and craft a new image. The flag is going up and it's going down. Your identity out there in the world is very, very important during this time period for the Libras. For Scorpio, it's about the way you are accessing your truth, your teaching, your publishing, and your traveling. It's a very active time for you to perhaps plan a trip or even take a trip. For our Sagittarius friends, this solstice time always ignites within you personal power, your sense of being able to craft a new version of yourself using emotional, spiritual, and psychic powers to become a new person for our Saggy friends. For Capricorn, it's about your personality and the way you're connecting with your BFF, your significant others, your partners. Very strong new ways of partnering. For Aquarius, it's all about your health, how you are safeguarding your health, your movement, your diet, your sleep, your habit patterns to raise the flag, maybe start something new with self-care. And Pisces is all about your fun, your creativity, and spending some new time activating what gives you joy, Pisces. So raise the flag to fun for our Pisces friends. All right, we're going to do some spiritual messages now, dear friends. And all right, Rose would like a message. Thank you for sharing, Dawn. Happy summer solstice to you, dear Nancy. And thank you all for being here. Hi, Diane. Thank you. All right. So I close my eyes and I'm going to pick a couple people here. And the first person I pick is Miss Rose Chase. And Rosie, as I'm connecting with you tonight, there's something about the month of June for you, Rose, whether that be a significant month for, sometimes birthdays fall in families in certain months. So June is always an emotional and a significant month I'm picking up for you, dear Rose Chase. Oh, dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words be filled with love and light, truth, inspiration, and healing for everyone's highest and best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. So, Rosie, I'm getting June for you. This has been a trying, emotional anniversary dates for you. But as we're moving towards midsummer, and I'm getting late July, there's a lot of festivities this year, and there's a real sense of, I'm not sure, there's family reunions or some picnics or something like this. I feel that you're not quite there yet, like looking forward to the end of July, but you will be there. And September, I'm seeing, we do have Venus retrograde this summer, and that's going to be retrograding towards August as we get into September. But in September, I feel like you might be planning some getaways, some teaching, learning, recuperating, like a spa type of outing for yourself. I'm getting all this rejuvenation for you in September. The other thing I'm getting here with Rose for you tonight is, I don't know, there's someone in spirit who had the name Rose as a middle name, like Mary Rose, Vivian Rose, or something like this. a relative. Rose is coming in from the other side of life, but that wasn't just her first name. And she's coming in with some of these cotton 1950 style dresses that were like day dresses, shifts. She wore those a lot. She liked to have a kind of a persona. I'm not sure if this is a mother or this could be a grandmother. I'm not getting a clear version of this, but again, the name Rose is coming in here. And she's talking about how when you tender roses, you sometimes have beetles or some sort of other insects that need to be removed physically. She was a very natural type of gardener. And she's saying the same thing with you. You have a soft touch when you're trying to remove toxicity in your own life, not necessarily beetles, but that sometimes you have to bring out the big guns, she's saying. So she's a message for you, Rose, tonight would be, it's okay kind of with something that's toxic in your life, just put the barriers up so you still have some porous ability to connect with some situation that's been difficult. You keep the lines open, but you're keeping more boundaries up in a relationship situation. And I would leave that for you. Okay. Thank you, Rose, for being here. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, there it was. Your grandmother's middle name was Rosamond. That's who it was. Okay, she's just saying, honey, it's okay to say no. I'm invoking Nancy Reagan. It's all right to say no. That's what your grandmother is saying to a situation that's been depleting you. All right, leave that with God's blessings. All right, the next message is Paula Churchill. Paula, as I'm turning into your energy, I'm feeling a real sense of calm after the storm with you, Paula. I'm feeling that you've been working very, very hard at self-improvement, physical self-improvement. And, sometimes we go on these cycles in our lives. We want to move better. We walk or we work out. And you're almost at goal is the word that comes to mind, because there is some I'm feeling some tenderness on the right side of the body that needed to be stretched out or moved or something along these lines, Paula, and that you've been working very diligently at having more mobility. And as we move through, I'm getting like quick snapshots of, Crystal Beach, like a beach on one of the Finger Lakes or the Great Lakes as a child, and one of those images, like a little postcard, that you've been reminiscing about the past, about summers that have gone by, and missing a lot of the people. I'm getting an uncle and aunt in particular, and just feeling very nostalgic for that childhood experience. And the message I'm getting from, actually, it's an aunt and an uncle. They're coming in together because they were always involved with the family. You can still make your own fun and your own family, even with people who are not biologically related to you. That we have family friends and we have family, and that this summer you're going to be congregating with people who are like family, but they might not be exactly how it was when you were growing up, the people they could count on. So new connections, new celebrations, especially around the 4th of July for you, Paula. So I'll leave that with many blessings for you. God bless you too, Rosie. Okay. And, you grow roses. Okay. Thank you so much that you gave me that feedback, Miss Rose. Rose with the grandmother, Rosamond in spirit. I love it. I love that validation. All right, dear friends, I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed summer solstice. Summer is here, at least in the northern climes. So make your summer plans. Don't forget to make your summer plans to Lilydale. Myself and so many wonderful teachers will be there. If you're in the neighborhood or even way far away, Lilydale is the place to be in the summertime. So check out lilydaleassembly.com. And I hope I've been recording here on the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. I'm not sure I am there tonight. I don't think I am, but I wanted to do a shout out to all of you astrologers and new astrologers to check out the offerings at the CIA. I'm Agent 56, and we have a wonderful journal called Time Lords, of which you can receive as a gift from CIA. All right. Catch you all again. Thank you for being here. Many blessings. See you next week.